Tune in.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us for our drive home tonight. It is a steamy Wednesday in Chicago, but it's Wednesday, which means my hump day honey is in studio.
Yay!
It's Ken Mejia-Beal.
And he's so happy to be here.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
I'm so happy.
Social media is a necessary evil for those of us who are broadcasters and comedians and a lot of different areas now. It's a necessary evil like for branding for companies.
I hate it.
You know what? Well, you and I were talking before the show briefly, talking about spatial awareness.
Yes,
and
which neither of us have.
I walk in the door jams. I was telling Ken that I had an ice pack on my face, and Steve was like, "What happened to you?" I'm like, "That table came out of nowhere." It's so funny because somebody in the kitchen today, they didn't even I'll have the freezer open, I have a top and bottom freezer fridge, and I'll have the freezer open, forget that it's open, go to get something out of the fridge, pop up and hit my head on the freezer door that I left open, like those kinds of things. You know?
I just fall down a lot, and now I've learned, because I used to, when I was younger, I'd pop back up.
Oh, yeah.
But now I've learned if you lay there long enough, people don't laugh. So now I just lay. I just count to 10, let's just milk this for all it's worth, because I'm already embarrassed.
I'm going to need a moment.
Let me just take a moment.
I need a moment.
While I'm down here.
Yes. The ceiling needs paint. Look at this. What a beautiful sunny sky. Those beautiful clouds. That one looks like a horse.
Yeah, that's exactly my life. I fall down a lot.
I fall. We were talking about stairs. Well, it's one time when you were talking about stairs, one time I was carrying Griffin in a car seat carrier, the car, the little pod that you get for the car. I was carrying him. We have a sort of a wooden spiral staircase.
Spiral staircases are the devil. Continue.
Yeah,
they are the devil.
He was he was less than 8 months old, and my foot just went slid off the edge of a stair, and I was like, all I had to do, I was just riding the stairs on my back, just cradling the car seat, and he was fine. But man, I'm still limping. That was 20 years ago.
I'm surprised I'm still alive at this point. I'm surprised.
Do you know, I have thought about
every
that.
day.
I hung out with a friend of mine from grade school. We've been friends since we were in first grade. And, we were thinking about the stuff that we used to do. But, I don't know if my mom's listening, so I don't think she needs to know what I did in my childhood.
I'll never talk about it on air. We'll talk about that over a drink.
It's not okay. Yes, please. Ken Mejia-Beal is the Midwest chair for the Victory Fund.
Yes, I am.
And great job on Out Chicago this Sunday, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
They're Sunday Sweetie. Sunday Sweetie is what you are for them, I guess.
I'm Scott's Sunday Sweetie, and I love Ellen. But no, they it
was a great interview.
Well, because we were talking about Graham and what the party can do a little bit better. But I just think we as progressives have to speak.
Yes.
We have to speak. Whether folks want us to speak or not, we have to continue to speak. And so I had a great time on Sunday.
Have you seen the two young people that were the strategists that were interviewed about vetting him and basically choosing him, identifying him as a candidate? Have you seen this interview?
I've heard about it.
You will lose your everlasting mind.
I've heard. But I'm not surprised by it.
It's so bad.
As someone who is so I've been in rooms where people try to put their thumb on the scale, and it's never based on anything that normal people care about. It's always based on who knows who can raise more money, and who is most obedient. It's never, I said what I said, I'm not sorry.
No.
It's never based on who's going to do best for the community, which is why, and you and I've talked about this, when I say I'm supporting this person, they're the person that nobody picked.
Yeah.
Because the person that somebody picked, they have, somebody they're
beholden to somebody.
They're beholden to somebody.
Yep.
I don't. You have to be careful when we vote. And yes, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you have to just hold your nose and vote for somebody. But as a choice,
yes,
I don't want to vote for somebody who has, DraftKings tattooed on their backside, or somebody who has, the political machine tattooed on their forehead. I want to vote for somebody that actually cares about me and my interests, who wants to make sure that I can afford groceries, health care, have running water, safe community. Not someone who's just going to go in to a meeting and rubber stamp someone else's, raise.
Right.
That is not a legal raise, but we'll talk about that another day. I want to vote for someone who has my best interest and the best interest of my neighbors. Because if I'm doing all right and my neighbors are doing all right, we are all doing all right.
I agree. And here's the thing. These senatorial races are so crucial. Plus, they're there for 6 years. 6 years. 6 years.
You think about that. 2 terms, 12 years.
Yeah.
Think about that.
That's a
12 years.
Yeah.
And we're just rubber stamping them.
Have you seen, comments or, conversations about Trump's plan to have some sort of speech tomorrow where he's going to make a big announcement, and everyone's speculating that it's going to be about Warnock and Ossoff, and that the senators are going to be thrown out because he's found some sort of evidence. I don't even what. I don't know if that's what is going to happen. But these are the rumors.
I've heard the rumor. You always have to remember Donald Trump is a showman.
Yeah.
So I am prepared for the circus.
Someone better clean up after that elephant is all I'm saying.
Clearly half the Americans didn't see the red flags, but some of us saw the clown, honey. And I see a clown, and it's a circus, and it's a mess.
Do you know what? I know that we've seen it over and over again, and I certainly don't have to tell people who have lived with us their entire lives, generationally, for centuries in this country, about the disregard for human life when it comes to law enforcement. And what I am seeing online, this whole comply or die situation, is bonkers.
Coming from the same people that have the "Don't Tread on Me" flag, and they're so anti authority.
Yeah,
it is crazy to me. It is crazy to me. But who they want to comply are black and brown folks.
Correct.
Not them.
Correct.
Not them.
Yeah.
Let's keep that in mind.
That's why it's on me. Don't tread on me.
Don't tread on me.
Tread on them.
Tread on them.
Yeah, bootlickers. I had somebody come into my comments.
They are bootlickers.
I'm telling you, I went off on somebody who was like, because I made a video about how one of the witnesses said that Johann Sebastian, I'm not sure his last name, Guerrero, had said as he was falling out of the car, as they were pulling him out of the car, said, I tried to stop. Is one of the reports, one of the witnesses. So
I heard that.
I repeated that.
Yeah.
And so I posted a video about this, and the person's like, trying isn't enough, or if he had tried, he would have stopped.
So
all these things.
Let me give you a little advice.
Yeah.
You can take it or leave it. I have gotten to a place on social media. I post once a month. I block folks and I delete comments. You can be a smart ass. So I'm deleting it. So I hope you got your 15 seconds of joy.
Yep.
You're deleted and blocked now.
Well, I said, how's that boot taste, or something like that? You bootlicker.
They get so offended.
Well, no, but here was the thing. Some guy had already said, somebody had responded to him and saying, does that mean he has to die, right?
Right.
But then read my bootlicking comment and then chastised me. Dude, if you were writing a much longer paragraph for me about me calling him a bootlicker than somebody who said that young man deserved to die, then we have other problems.
Well, those are the people.
He's like, we're not going to meet in the middle. We're not going to be able to have conversations if this is how we have the arguments.
Let's talk about moderates for a moment.
Yes.
They are unable to pick a side.
Yes.
They are Switzerland. It's like respect matters, decorum matters. All sides are right. No, 2 + 2 is 4.
Yes.
So pick a side.
Yeah.
Just pick one.
And by the way, silence.
It's picking a side.
Yeah, silence is shut.
Yep.
Well, silence in this conversation, you want to give him one question, 2 words, or whatever, and a whole diatribe about how it's people like me that are basically blaming lefties.
Yes.
Blaming liberals, progressives for making MAGA angry. That's why he hate her.
Yeah.
Because she didn't make dinner right.
Right. We've heard this. Blame the victim.
Yeah. If you'd made dinner better.
Yep. Everything would have been fine. If you hadn't asked so many questions, I wouldn't have hit you. I used to be a moderate. working with too many moderates changed me. It radicalized me. It radicalized me because I sat in rooms with people that it was glaring. Like, I believe in abolishing ICE. It is a terrorist organization, in my opinion, and
Not
that's my
fixable.
opinion. When you have folks saying we have to stop the process of ICE pulling people out of their cars because they're killing people.
Yeah.
And you have, Dorito in chief saying they're doing a great job. They're terrorizing people, and he's condoning it. And if you're condoning that or silent to it, you are too condoning it. And I'm sorry, I don't condone the murder of, and I have a great analogy for this. I used to work for Wells Fargo, and there was a huge problem in the building, and we were all stuck in an elevator for 35 minutes. Mind you, I'm claustrophobic, another show for another day. So the fire department gets there, they pry open the elevator, and the first thing they ask is, are you guys all Wells Fargo employees? And I'm like, can you let us out? What difference does that make right now?
How was it the first question?
It was the first question.
That's crazy.
So I go back to when folks are like, are they here legally? They are dead for driving.
Yeah.
Does that matter at this point? And I wish more people got that.
Well, and again, first of all, people keep saying, one, comply or die. Two, if they were here legally. Three, if they done it the right way. All these things.
All these. Yet they're taking people out of courts who are trying to do it the right way.
Yes.
But continue. Sorry.
Yes, and there's actually a video. I'll share it. I'll try to share it later tonight. There's a guy in Maine, like, angry with the protesters and their signs and stuff, and like, he goes, first of all, he compares.
I saw that guy.
He compares the steak line. He goes, what if you were at a steakhouse and someone comes? And I was like, first of all, the United States is not a steakhouse.
No.
People are coming here to work, to have a better life, not to belly up and eat the carcass of a dead animal.
And if you cut me off in the steakhouse with your analogy, I should be able to like harm
Shoot
you
him
and
kill
stab
him.
you.
Yeah.
And it's okay because you cut me in line at the steakhouse.
But they didn't have that argument. They said he goes, do it the right way, and they said he had a social security number, and he was like, "What? I didn't hear that. Did he get?
Of
the
course
right
you
way?
did, because they didn't tell you that on Fox News.
And then he
on
said,
Fox and Friends.
Yeah, and then he said, well, he had a gun. Like, that's another rumor, and he didn't. Yeah, so he was like, he had all this misinformation.
Like Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Once again, these same Second Amendment people who are right to bear arms. I will bear all the arms.
And I've never even heard any element of he had a gun.
As soon as a black or brown, and this is a true story, you can look it up. When the Black Panthers went to California with assault rifles, California banned assault rifles. I think Ronald Reagan was the governor when this happened.
So you're saying more black people need assault rifles?
I think more black people need more black men. We should take the streets with assault rifles. They'll be banned in 24 hours. Mark my words. But it's these they're not consistent. That is my biggest problem with Republicans as a whole. Not just MAGA, Republicans as a whole. They're not consistent in their language, in their beliefs, and their policies.
Absolutely. Do it the right way. They have no
idea.
They have no idea, and actually they don't actually believe
And this
that.
country wasn't founded the right way. This country was stolen through genocide. The Trail of Tears is one of the, I don't want to compare it to slavery, but it's as brutal as slavery, and it should be as told as much as slavery. People were here, and they were brutalized. I won't even get into it, but this country wasn't started the right way. So let's start there. And for a lot of folks, they didn't cross the border crossed them. There's a great documentary by Eva Longoria about it. So we have to acknowledge all of these wrongs that this country has done before we can start individually looking at folks and saying what they've done wrong.
I agree. And here's the thing. I feel like, and I know that in politics and even in these conversations, when you're explaining, you're losing. But if I have to explain again that being in the United States without documentation, it's a civil administrative violation. It would be the same as saying it's okay to shoot and kill somebody if they were driving without their license in the car.
Yep.
It is the same as exceeding the speed limit or violating a commercial permit that results in fines, penalties, or government forfeiture rather than criminal.
Hello.
I just want.
Well, and I think maybe if we taught better civics in this country, we wouldn't have to explain so much. Or maybe if people stop watching Fox and Friends. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're getting criminal prosecution for the crimes every year, in addition to the civil violations.
Right.
Which is just bonkers. And here's the thing. Remember how bloodthirsty they were? Well, he's only going to go after the most vicious criminals.
That was what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, none of these people seem to be violent criminals at all. None of them.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there might be one or two. So please don't at me or social media, because, yeah, there might be one or two. But most of these folks are decent folks that I personally would love to live next door to. I would rather live next to them than any of these racist or these bigots or these MAGA people. Because that'd be a nightmare for me.
I mean,
that'd be a nightmare.
I mean,
I'm black. My dog is black. I'm gay. It's a mess.
oh, Ken. Yeah, I went to hug you.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. I have great neighbors.
Good.
Yeah, I'm in Edgewater. Hashtag Edgewater. Come on down. It's a great place to live.
Do you ever get to go to the beach over by there?
I was just there Monday. My friend and I were there, and we had a great time. We'll talk off air.
I will talk. Oh, okay. I do want to remind folks again, being here without documentation is not a criminal offense.
Yes.
And here's the thing, it's very frustrating to me. The Supreme Court itself has observed as a general matter, it is not a crime for removable of a non-citizen to anyway.
Everyone listening to us knows this. Mm-hmm. It's the people that are going to see this in the future time.
Right. The
MAGA people with nothing better to do that are going to be angry because they stay. And I've never met a group of people that are winning and still so angry. Why are you so mad?
The whole time. Because
like, Jesus.
Because they want more than just for us to comply.
Yeah, they want us to die. That's what they want.
The mission seems to be detained, deported, dead.
Yes.
Let's take a break here. And on that note, thank you to our sponsors.
Yeah.
Thank you to Pride Coffee Roasters. I think let's separate those two things.
Yes.
I was messaging with Pride Coffee Roasters today because someone had a meme or a GIF on social media. I don't want a coffee that has notes of cherry and cocoa. I want a coffee that walks in and says and flips the table and says, "We have poop to do today." And they didn't say poop, but yeah, we've got it. And I sent that to Jackie, and he goes, she said, "Every bag we sell."
Yep.
Flips the table and says, "It's time to get it done."
You can have both.
Yes, you can have both. So,
Pride Roasters.
With the notes of sometimes with peanut brittle, maybe with toffee, caramel, all the things. So
yes.
PrideCoffeeRoasters.com. And just so you know, they respond to my texts, and I love that. I have my own coffee roaster, like on my speed dial. I got a supplier. PrideCoffeeRoasters.com. We have Peter Sorellis joining us in the studio tomorrow, along with Warren Price.
Hello, Peter and Warren.
Solar, yes.
Yeah.
And Mike Crowley will be joining us. Thank you to Source Solar. Go to source.solar, make an appointment with Peter Sorellis. Maybe it's time to get solar panels on your house or business. Thank you to Minocqua Brewing Company, and hello everyone who's watching on Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. Today we promoted a lot of the items on the Substack that display your feelings about ice out, abolish ice, all the icy things
yes.
on Minocqua Brewing Company's Substack. You can see a link right there to the marketplace. We also want to thank our friends at Are You Really Winning, Kids Above All, Social Change, Berman Kia, and Hyundai. We'll take a break here and continue our conversation with Ken Mejia-Beal in studio. Lady B, we can open the phone lines if people want to join us. We'd appreciate that. Lady B will be taking your phone calls. Be nice to her, or I will find you and say, "Be nice to Lady B," again, aggressively, with my voice.
Think Theory Radio. We're joined by Ellie Miller, hypnotherapist.
Hypnosis is portrayed in media in general. Manipulation, mind control. People think it's like a truth serum. My clients describe it as they're in control the whole time. It's definitely not a truth serum. The client decides what they share with me, even in a state of hypnosis.
Think Theory Radio with Damian Perdue. Saturdays at 6 p.m. on WCPT 820.
Take summer to the next level with the stunning performance of a Porsche. Find the perfect model for you at the Porsche Exchange in Highland Park. Browse and test drive our extensive selection, like the 2026 Porsche Cayenne. Right now, lease the 2026 Cayenne for just $1149 a month for 39 months. Discover performance like no other when you visit the Porsche Exchange in Highland Park or PorscheExchange.com. $10,859 due assignment for qualified buyers. Excludes tax title license and dealer fee. No security deposit required. See dealer for details. Offer ends 7/31/26.
WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk, where facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now.
We need to speak out about this.
At 773-763-9278.
Hello.
It's Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our conversation here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KTNF AM950. We're so glad for all of our friends who are joining us online, on Facebook, on YouTube, and Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. Please consider subscribing to any of those platforms and sharing with your friends and family so they can join the conversation as well. Ken, I don't know if you're aware, but Secretary of War Hegseth has ordered that all the military men be tested for. Have you heard that?
Testosterone.
Correct.
So now the U.S. government is okay with gender-affirming care.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Just saying. What
Cool.
I don't even understand. Like, what are they looking for?
Well, let me say this. I do think all men should be checked for testosterone. Drops in testosterone do lead to depression and can also lead to suicide if not checked. It leads to fatigue. I am pro TRT, especially as men get older. But with that said, because I am consistent, I am an advocate for all forms of gender-affirming care.
Oh, it's for women as well.
Yes, especially going through, I think, menopause.
Yeah, he says all enlistees or everybody under 30 troops to test for low testosterone. Here's the thing about that. Like, I think a policy, I never needed to know about people shaving their facial hair or not shaving their facial hair, or their haircuts, or what's in their pants, or any of it. I never needed to know any of these things.
It's not my business.
None of my
Right.
business. None of my, like, if you have your regulations, like, we never knew any of that. If we were, okay, I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Now I have to have. It's like on headlines.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that because I once again am in favor of it. I'm not in favor of the way he's going about it. I'm not in favor of this ultra macho,
correct,
WWF 1980s way he's going about this. I am a supporter of gender affirming care, though.
I am,
and
as well.
That's what this is gender affirming care.
I agree with you. It's like men that will need to have the surgery to reduce breasts, because men sometimes
gynecomastia, yes, which is the #1 cosmetic procedure, gender affirming procedure for men in this country.
There you go. These are the things. Jim wants to talk about a little history. Jim, you're on with me and Ken Mejia-Beal. What's on your mind, my friend?
Hi, Patty. Hi, Ken.
Hey.
A little blast from the past. Lewis and Clark. Clark took his slave York with him on this expedition, and they had a party in St. Louis before they took off, and it started at about 6 in the evening and went till 9 o'clock in the morning. Now, York is personal slave and valet. You would call him a valet today if he was free. If a slave was caught dancing at the party, he got 50 lashes. 50 lashes. That was in St. Louis. But the other thing about St. Louis was you couldn't separate families in St. Louis. When you sold slaves, they had to stay together, which was strange. But the idea of this is York went on to, jot down a few notes about being a house servant. And he said it was worse than being a field hand because if you showed any kind of intelligence or any kind of laughter or anything, you could have appendicitis attack, and you had to go out in the yard and just die of it. My point is, you had to couch everything, every move you made. But it was so interesting. The way we've evolved. It's amazing how the Homo sapien has thought that somebody else is slave material. As I said to you before, Patty, St. Patrick was the only Homo sapien on the recorded record who said slavery was an evil, and that was in the 5th century in Ireland. So I don't know where these people, when they didn't catch on, they took them forever to catch on.
Yep.
But and what about the poor person shot down in Florida? They shot another guy down in Florida. Did that call it Florida?
He got hit by a truck. He was fleeing ice and was hit by a truck and hit and killed. And as he was trying to
hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Well, what's worse? I think he's probably better for getting shot. The point is, they were going to call off the dogs with the cars, and then Trump jumped on that insane thing that only Danny Schaefer can read. We're going to go back after him in the cars. Anyway, I just thought I'd relate that crazy story to you. Anyway, you guys have a good night. Thank you.
You as well, my friend. We've got about we got about a minute here, Paul. What's on your mind about tomorrow's speech from Donald Trump?
Well, the first thing is that I won't be watching. I just wait till it comes out on DVD.
Jeez.
I mean, that's just, but to try and convince, obviously there's nothing, whatever he's going to say is not pursuable by fact and the regular process, the judicial process. So he has to get up there. And I actually think that even the MAGA people will find him to be just, shut up. And you know what? Speaking of that, I think the Democrats actually would be well served to say, as a campaign thread, vote for us. We'll impeach him. Because you know what? There's a lot of MAGAs who they like to get angry. And there's a lot of them who are angry, and they're also fickle. And they will say, okay, well, if you're going to, that's right. Promise to impeach him and we'll vote for you. Because I think they just like to get angry. And since they know, I was just saying earlier today is that we were shopping yesterday, and just for produce, there was nothing under $2.49 a pound. Because I was just going to go in there and say, and when you think about zucchini, $2.49 a pound, zucchini, we got neighbors giving them away. It's like,
that's insane.
Zucchini grows like weeds. It's like nothing under $2.49 a pound, and it's like I just wanted to go in and buy cheap stuff, but there was nothing cheap. There was nothing cheap, and I think everybody's getting to see that. Gasoline, we were out in Eastern Washington, $5.91 a gallon.
Wow,
horrible.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out what the prices are rising in part. Let's see. Accumulated prices, the category, have experienced the highest year. Let's see. They went up, rising 0.2%. Just trying to figure out if there's anything about, because I know we were worried about fertilizer, in particular with the closure of the blocking of the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know. And then gas, obviously delivering produce is expensive. Equipment, there's a lot of equipment issues for farmers, so it's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, I won't be watching either, by the way.
Yeah, me either.
Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you so much. Let's take a break here and continue our conversation on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, and our friends who are tuning in digitally on Facebook, YouTube, and Monaco Brewing Company Substack. We'll be right back with Ken Mejia-Beal. We have a guest coming on as well.
Zach, he's on our Zoom.
He's going to be on. Maybe I have to open a new meeting.
He's waiting.
Oh, you know why? Because I haven't started this meeting.
But let's go to break first.
I don't have to. We can make it. We can do production right here. Let's leave and start this.
Oh, okay.
Just make it setting everything up for everybody.
Okay.
Just behind the scenes. More after this on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Regina Kroll. Parts of the region remain in a heat advisory. Patchy smoke will come in for this evening. We'll see passing clouds, a low around 75. Then for the day on Thursday, areas of smoke, isolated showers and storms by afternoon. With a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day, it will be hot to high in the mid-90s, heat index values in the upper 90s. Isolated showers and storms continue Thursday night, a low of 74 with passing clouds. Showers and storms are likely Friday, mostly sunny with a high of 91. That's your latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 91 degrees.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Joan Esposito, live, local, and progressive.
Greg is on the line.
You don't have to be doing what you're doing at this stage in your life, and I'm grateful that you do it, because you're a voice that is really kind and thoughtful and intelligent. Keeps us abreast of what's going on.
Wow, thank you for those. Hey, Paul, did you record that? That sounds like a promo to me.
All right, I got it.
Joan Esposito, weekday afternoons 2 to 5 on WCPT 820.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Heading up to southern Wisconsin. Should you ever forget to load up on progressive brews from the local favorites like Rogers Park Provisions or Park West Liquor in Lincoln Park, Minocqua Brewing Company beer is now conveniently available at Dream Liquor and Cigar in Kenosha and in the Lake Geneva area at Delavan Liquor and Smoke in Delavan. If the great town of Madison, Wisconsin is your jam, please remember to swing into the Minocqua Brewing Company tap room at 2927 East Washington Avenue to grab some Resistance beer, pizza, t-shirts, and progressive camaraderie.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150 in Seattle. Joining me in studio is my guest co-host, Ken Mejia-Beal. He is the Midwest Chair for the Victory Fund, and he is my Hump Day Honey. If you haven't heard that before, it's his own. He created that moniker. I just want everyone to know. I'm not doing anything untoward.
I mean, it's Wednesday.
I'm not objectifying him.
Objectify away.
All right.
Yeah. I don't go to the gym for no reason.
Exactly. And you look good, my friend.
Thank you.
We are excited to have. So you've worked in a lot of political circles.
Yes.
And you were in DuPage County for quite some time.
Yes.
And then you also coordinated with other county.
Yeah, a lot of work with Kane and Kendall and Will County. And our next guest, Zach Bachmann, is running for Kendall County. He's the Kendall County candidate for clerk. He's also endorsed by the Victory Fund, which is that's a great honor. We don't endorse everybody. And now we're just going to talk to Zach about why he needs to run this race. He's a hard worker. I can tell you that. I always see social media of you out there knocking doors, talking to folks. How's it going?
Hey, thank you guys so much for having me on. I think it's going really well. I think I'm putting in the work, and I'm really excited about this race.
Good.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
What made you decide to, what's a little bit about your background for the listeners to know?
Yeah, so I grew up here in Kendall County. Oswego is my hometown. I went to Oswego High School. I studied computer science and mathematics in college. I worked on the NASA Suits project, was really cool. I helped design augmented reality interfaces for astronauts, and I pursued a career in tech after that. But after college, I decided I want to get involved, and that ended up culminating with me running for county board, because a huge issue here in Kendall County is there are thousands of people who do not have sufficient access to internet. So when I first ran in 2022, I ran on a platform of expanding broadband, making sure no matter where people live in Kendall County, they have access, affordable, reliable access to internet, and I've succeeded in that. I chair the Connect Kendall County Commission. I secured $15 million on my first term for a community-focused and managed broadband project, the first of its kind in Illinois. Starts construction later this summer. And the ISP, or the Internet Service Provider, is not a giant incumbent, right? So not an AT&T, not a Comcast. It's a local entity, again, managed by a non-for-profit. And I think that is critical. I'm really hoping this becomes the future of connectivity. It's been my political baby. I think it is the coolest project I've ever worked on. So I've worked locally on helping bring Kendall County into the 21st century from an infrastructure standpoint. And during that time on the county board, I got to see that our clerk's office is demonstrably antiquated. We don't have basic stuff here. We don't have sample ballots. Our election results are presented in a text file instead of an infographic that breaks down every race. It's difficult to find information about candidates, about elections. People who vote by mail don't even receive notifications when their ballot's been received. Our recorder's office still does stuff by hand. I mean, you name it. And especially with my background and my experience achieving infrastructure upgrades, I can't tell you how excited I am about the opportunity to get in, win, become the first Democrat to ever win a countywide in Kendall County, and immediately modernize our clerk's office and bring it into the 21st century, which is something that everyone who lives in Kendall County deserves.
Now, tell me a little bit about your background. Where did you grow up, my friend?
Oswego.
I grew up in Oswego, yeah.
Sorry, but
no worries.
I'm looking at a screen of something that's coming through on my.
Got it. Okay.
Yes. So in Oswego, there's a lot. It's a kind of a rural area, right? So people who are trying to imagine Kendall County, and we talk a lot about how there are a lot of municipalities in the state of Illinois. We have more municipalities than anywhere else. What are some of the challenges that you have when it comes to coordinating with the way revenues are used and raised?
Yeah, so I think the thing I've noticed in my time on the county board is that it's been fascinating to me as a bit of a policy nerd, who governs over what, who has jurisdiction over what. And I think the biggest thing is how siloed everything is. Now, I think that the county board does have a pretty good relation, and I personally have pretty good relationships with the different municipalities, the biggest ones in the area being Yorkville and Oswego. But that doesn't mean that it isn't siloed or there isn't sometimes confusion over who has responsibility over what. But in terms of raising revenues or anything like that, I don't really think that there is any significant budgeting concerns in the area. I think Kendall County, fastest growing county in Illinois, average living wage here is pretty high. It's not that is the issue. I think there is, as you kind of mentioned, Kendall County is in the middle bit of an influx because it is growing so fast, and the type of demographics of people who are moving in here are typically people who are wanting to have kids and have a family. And that means that we have, if you ever talk to a voter out here, that one of the first things they're going to talk about is property taxes, right? Disproportionately high. And so because we have not developed, whether it's from infrastructure, business, economic development, you name it, we haven't developed to match our population group. That is probably the number one thing that impacts voters is the property tax burden. So no matter where you are, that's something that people talk about. And as I mentioned, that project that I've worked on earlier, I think that is actually a critical piece in solving that issue because businesses need internet to function. If you're going to build a business in an area, no matter what service you are providing, you need broadband infrastructure, full stop. And in so many areas of the county, that simply just hasn't existed. So that's something I'm really excited about that I've worked on is bringing new businesses into the area, giving them more opportunity because now they have the ability to have a fundamental resource that they previously didn't.
With that combination of kind of the rural and suburban area, I guess. Aside from Oswego, what are some of the communities? I don't think I was familiar with Montgomery, Illinois.
Oh, it's a nice place.
That's where I live.
I know. I might not have heard where you grew up, but I know where you live. Is that weird?
No, I mean that makes sense.
He's like, I didn't say where I live.
I have that Sting song stuck in my head right now.
He's like, how did you know where I was? At any rate, tell the folks a little about the area in that, when you talk about bringing in businesses, I think it's probably challenging to have a business, trying to lure people. What are some of the barriers to people starting businesses? We know what they are in Chicago, layer upon layer upon layer of bureaucracy. Are there ways to incentivize coming out to Kendall County and some of the things that they're looking for when they want to bring their business there?
Yeah, so I think I mentioned the broadband infrastructure thing being a pretty big piece of it, right? But I think that to describe more a little bit about Kendall County, because you did ask that as well, I would say towards the north section of Kendall County, you have Oswego, you have Montgomery, you have Yorkville, and you have Plano, which I would say are the more densely populated areas. And then you fall below that, and it becomes a lot more rural. So when you get into those areas, there's plenty of farmers that are obviously local businesses as well, right? But you have the need to expand roadways. Like, for example, a big thing that's happening in our area is the development and expansion of Ridge Road. And that's going to provide a lot easier access to highways from the area, which means there's possibly development of warehouses, distribution centers, which create jobs. I think other things involve, for example, roadways are surprisingly incredibly impactful when it comes to stuff like this. So something that happened when I first got into the board, I was highway chairman, is the opening of Eldamain Bridge, which opened up a huge corridor to the area, again, giving easier access to major highways, gets used all the time. Another thing about that I think is really cool is in discussions of it, we put conduit in the bridge itself before putting it up. And that means that we don't have to bore into a river to lay fiber or any other infrastructure like that, electricity as well. We don't have to do it that way, which is a huge boon. And that's becoming, in my opinion, more and more the standard. Whenever the ground is open up or you're building a bridge, putting conduit in before sealing it is really important so that you don't have to destroy anything when you're trying to develop an area. But I really think the biggest thing in terms of struggling for businesses is, again, infrastructure. And also kind of right now, I think the biggest thing is the economy is not necessarily conducive to starting a new business. So, and that's not necessarily something that local government has immediate control over, but I do know that following COVID, we've been, not just us, but including Oswego and Yorkville, we've done a lot to help usher in new businesses, give them help and aid where it is necessary to help them get in. But I guess like something that I do want to talk about that I'm hearing a lot at the doors, especially in the Yorkville area, is deciding what types of businesses we want in. Because the biggest thing right now that's going on is a lot of feedback being anti-data center. Because we have some pretty substantial data center development coming in. And I think the biggest thing about it is there's a lack of transparency that I think strikes a lot of people as wrong.
Sure.
These are very impactful, right? I mean, there are some benefits to them, no doubt. I mean, obviously they do, to a certain extent, release a property tax burden. They do use local union labor, which are obviously things that I'm in favor of, right? But they don't create long-term jobs. They are normally managed by a few people once they are up and running, and they are substantial in the impact on the environment. They drain electricity grids substantially. That's actually a huge reason why they're being built in the areas. It's by a ComEd grid. You have other concerns like water and things like that. And I think the biggest thing when I'm talking to voters, this is talked about more than any other thing that I've ever discussed at the doors, no matter what policy is going on since running in 2022, is, again, a lack of transparency. No one knows how much their electricity bill is going to go up. Their water bill is going to go up. But the main selling point is bringing property tax relief. People don't know that either. And so I think that's a huge concern from my perspective, from a governing view, is why don't people know that? How is this not easy to access information, especially because I would assume that the developers coming in do know that info. So why isn't that being translated to the community?
And for the position that you're running for, because I've talked to people who are running for county clerks and recorders' offices, and so a lot of that has to do with keeping, obviously, records and things like that. Tell folks a little bit about the role that you be responsible for, and what distinguishes you from other candidates.
Right. So in Kendall County, the clerk is also tied in with the recorder's office. So you oversee local elections, display election results, conduct them, and also maintain overview of public records. And what separates me from my opponent is that they've been there for nearly 20 years. And again, it is antiquated. We don't have basic essential upgrades that people deserve access to. Something that I would immediately change that I'm pretty passionate about is creating an in-house sample ballot. Yes. Not only that directly reflects what someone's ballot is, but also something I would like to do is get in basic info about every single candidate, so it's all in one place, right? I think creating easier access to voter information or election information is critical at a time where there's so much misinformation in the zeitgeist. A certified official document from your clerk is more important than ever, and it should be easy to access as well. Gives you basic info about every candidate, and something that I want to emphasize is that it should be printable from the browser so that someone can take that ballot into the booth with them. That matches exactly what it will be. I'm all about empowering voters. I think it should be simple to access this information. I think it's an injustice, frankly, that we don't have that. And frankly, my opponent has been there for a really long time. They have all the agency in the world to do it. They haven't.
That's really a shame.
No, it's unlucky.
Yeah.
I think. I think it is unfortunate. But again, like that is something that really excites me about this. Another thing is accessing election information and also reporting election results. The primary earlier this year. I mean, look, I have a lot of legislative friends in the area. I think that's part of being an elected is working with other electeds to represent your constituency and collaborate on big projects. And obviously during election time, we're all talking to each other. And Kendall County started reporting election results about 2 hours after everyone else. You know, polls closed and we're not seeing election results till 9. That's insane. And again, the election results are presented in a text file. So it's not even meant to be read by a human. I don't want to presume anything, but I would guess that that's just exactly what they sent Springfield to certify the results. So it's not meant for a constituency, it's meant for a computer. And I don't think that's great. And also, the archived public records are presented the exact same way. And again, not super easy to access. I think, especially at a time now, the majority of people that are interacting with your office are interacting with it through the internet, full stop. You should be adapting your approach to address that new traffic and make it intuitive and easy to use. That isn't what we have right now. And I, again, as someone with a tech background who has developed like specifically modern changes in my position as a county board member, I can tell you that everything I'm running on my platform, which is publicly accessible on my website and also on my Facebook and all that other stuff, is achievable. And also, frankly, stuff we probably should have had a decade ago in most cases.
Amazing. And when you are talking to folks, you know, to get their vote and ask for them to volunteer and donate to your campaign, but mostly to, you know, get your name out there, what I mean, I have to imagine people like, what do you do? Are you getting folks who like who get it? Are those, I would think those are the most surprising ones who are like, oh yeah, I've been waiting to replace our clerk and recorder.
I'm sure.
Right?
I mean, I would say that there are people who don't know what a clerk does, right? Which is fair. It's not something you immediately think about, right? But a lot of people are very familiar with just how antiquated it is and how much it needs to change. Because again, these are, if you vote regularly and you're trying to get a sample ballot, you're trying to procure information about elections, you know that our clerk's office is old and outdated. If you vote by mail, which when I'm knocking at the doors, especially when I'm knocking on seniors' doors and they talk about voting by mail, they're like, do you know why I don't receive a notification when my ballot's been received? And I don't have an answer for them because there's no reason that that should be the case. I think it's absurd that they're just supposed to send their ballot into the ether or something and trust that it's been counted, right? That's wild. Think about how many automatic text notifications or otherwise notifications you receive and how seamless they all are. It's not like this is something difficult to implement or expensive, anything of the like. This is very simple, easy, and should, again, already be in place. Absolutely. I think people are excited when I tell them about these basic stuff. I think sample ballots are a popular idea. I think faster and more intuitive election results. Another thing that's pretty critical is that in Kendall County, we only have really 2 early voting locations, which are, again, in like the more densely populated areas. Oswego, and Oswego is only 10 days. 2 early voting locations, and one of them is literally the clerk's office in Yorkville. So if you live in the southern area of the county, you do not have a convenient early voting location, period.
Wow. So let me paint a picture. So there's 2 early voting locations. Voters don't get sample ballots, correct?
They do not.
So it's probably taking forever to early vote.
Wow.
So
and again, it's very limited. Like Oswego's only for a limited period of time, and Yorkville is early voting. But you would expect a clerk's office to procure early voting, right? It would be weird for them not to. But again, like something I think would be great is, and not to brag, but I do have really good relationships with municipalities in the area. Like they're all partners in my Kendall County project. They are familiar with who I am. So if in Millington, for example, or Millbrook, we wanted to do an early voting location, even just for a few days, we could probably raise enough awareness where people would come out and vote. And then on election day, it would take stress off of workers, and the lines for people who choose to vote on election day will be shorter. There are so many benefits to early voting, and something I think about is how many people have to work weird hours nowadays, weird work schedules. Election day is not a holiday, right? Making the access to the polling place easier is important to these people and something that I am passionate about changing. Also, you guys had a very earnest reaction to hearing just how backwards early voting works here. There's no reason we shouldn't have more access to early voting and that it shouldn't be coordinated with municipalities to try to maximize turnout. That's another thing, is there's no real outreach from this clerk's office to try to get young people registered, to try to get new residents who just moved in registered. Like, that doesn't exist. They are not very active, and that's something that I would do very differently.
Oh, amazing! I had no idea.
I'm actually shocked about the sample ballot. Like, I almost said an expletive. I'm sorry, I can't believe that. I can't. Yeah, that's crazy to me.
That is wild. Well, Zach Bachmann, who is running to be the clerk and recorder for Kendall County,
yes,
and is currently a Kendall County board member, running to update. Give us your 1-minute pitch to the voters of Kendall County of why you should be the next clerk
and look directly into that camera.
That's right.
I'm looking directly. Oh, have I been on camera this whole time? All right. So, hey, my name is Zach Bachmann. I'm a candidate for Kendall County Clerk and Recorder, and I'm hoping to upgrade and modernize our clerk's office and change our community for the better. I have experience in elected office. I've been on the county board for about 4 years now, and in that time, I've delivered on my exact campaign promises. I've worked to expand affordable internet access in a way that is equitable and holistic for our community, managed by a non-for-profit, starting construction soon, and again, working with local partners to make this thing happen in a way that meets our community where its need is at, not beholden to some giant incumbent interests like giving money to some CEO's 8th yacht or something, directly to our community. It's an investment in our community across the board. I'm looking to take that modernization approach to our clerk's office that is demonstrably antiquated. I want to give us sample ballots so that every voter is empowered and knows who their candidates are and knows basic information about them. I want to change the way that we report election results so that you have a breakdown of every race, who your candidates are, who's winning, who's not. And I want it to be easy to access, both the current election and the archived elections. I want to reform the way our recorder's office works because there's no way or reason that we should be doing stuff by hand. And I believe all these things are achievable within a first term. I think it is point blank simple.
And where can we...
Really...
Well, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
We cut you off.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, that was pretty much the end. So
I was
go
going
ahead.
to ask you, where can we donate? Where can we volunteer? When can we get Ken out there knocking doors with you? Because now I'm excited. All that information.
Yeah, absolutely. So my website is zachforillinois.com. You can donate there. There's links to my Act Blue in that way. There's also direct ways to contact me. I'm available on social media if that's more your jazz. My Facebook page is Zach Bachmann for Kendall County Clerk and Recorder. You're very welcome to reach out. We are planning to do multiple campaign or campus kickoffs later in the summer when it is not an inferno outside. While I am willing to brave the heat basically every day, I think it's unfair to volunteer. So later this summer, probably some cooler days also this fall, we'll be galvanizing volunteers to come out, and I appreciate any support that I can get. This is going to be a challenging race, but it is very, very important. Also, we don't have any official posters or anything for it yet, but I will be having a fundraiser later in August. It will be on my birthday. It is also my golden birthday. Would love to have you guys come out, and then there will be more information on that when everything is finalized.
We'll be sharing that information on the socials, and I've already donated. And
he has.
I have. And thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm so happy that you're running, and I can't wait to celebrate your victory.
Yay! Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Let us know how we can help going forward. If you have a call to action and you want to update folks on voting, we'd love to have you back, my friend.
Yes.
Awesome. Will do. Thank you guys so much.
ZachForIllinois.com, everybody. Let's take a quick break here because I did one long interview and now we're going to come right back. But if you want to call and if you want to do a quick phone call, you can. 773-763-9278. More with Ken Mejia-Beal and me when we come back.
Hey, Clerk Elise, you got a guy who can fix my lamp.
I do. At the Township of Lyons Repair Cafe, neighbors help neighbors repair all sorts of things from lamps to vacuums. Little acts of mutual support that make a big difference.
Hey, Clerk Elise, you got a guy who can notarize documents?
The Township of Lyons has lots of notaries on staff ready to help.
Hey, Clerk Elise, you got a guy?
At the Township of Lyons, we are your guys. Whatever you need, we work to bring more resources right to you.
Check out the Township of Lyons online, Lyons with a Y, LyonsTownshipIL.gov.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
detours, no distractions. Just bold ideas and real talk. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Coming up at 6, so one of our regular listeners and callers, Steve, had been on hold when we hit 5:30, and I told him to call at 6, and then I realized we have Ellie Krug, the illegal trans woman, coming on at 6 o'clock, after the 6 o'clock news. And I was thinking about our conversation earlier about how it is a civil offense to be in the United States. Are there elements of being here illegally? Yes, that can be considered criminal. Yes. Have they also been challenged as being rooted in racism?
Yes.
Yes. Have they been ruled by federal judges as being rooted in racism and violating the Fifth Amendment? Yes. So at any rate, but I also think like with the title of Ellie Krug's, show, The Illegal Trans Woman, I mean, like what they try to do, making homelessness illegal.
Yes.
Making being in this country, like making people in their own very existence illegal.
Yes.
Is a problem. And if you don't see that, and if you think that killing them is justifiable and the solution, then you are most definitely the problem and a horrible human being. I'm just saying.
No, you are a horrible person.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Poor Steven. Here, let me get Steve. Steve, do you want to, it's like, hi, how are you doing, Steve? You're on with me and Ken.
Good.
Hi.
Very, very quick, because I know you're on deadline. Your conversation earlier about head theft and facial hair and such.
Yes.
You may guys not know, but that's one of his sneaky ways of going against black men.
The testosterone?
No, the hair,
yes,
the shaving,
yes. Because, Ken, you could speak to this probably better, but black men have a higher percentage of people who are very sensitive to shaving.
Cannot shave every day.
Yeah, and so the military has traditionally given anybody who has that condition a pass, and they can wear a beard. So it's one of his sneaky ways of because more black men do it, we can use that to get black men out.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, this is something it was never any of my business as to why someone, you know what I'm saying? It was never any business.
Yes, it's a texture thing.
How can you win a war if you have a beard? I mean
seriously.
How can you?
Yeah, he does not look clean cut. He doesn't look like he's from Iowa. I'll talk to you later, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Appreciate it. That's a story for off the air. Let's take a break here and continue our conversation. Ellie Krug joins us in just a moment on WCPT and KKNW 1150. So happy to have you all here.
This is WCPT telling you how you can shop blue. While Donald Trump is making a mess out of this country, let's take a look at some vacuum cleaners that support the Democratic Party. iRobot. Now, iRobot is a company that makes Roombas. Everyone knows what a Roomba is, right? Little electronic vacuums that do it themselves. Pretty dang cool. Well, 96% of iRobot's donations went to Democrats in 2024. Samsung. Now, yes, Samsung did donate $374,000 to the Democratic Party in 2024. But that was only 61% of their donations. And there's a handful of vacuum cleaner companies that aren't in the U.S. and therefore don't donate to politics at all. Those companies are Dyson, they're out of the UK, Shark Ninja, also out of the UK, Hoover, Dirt Devil, and Roborock, all three of those are out of China. The Republicans always make the mess, and it's always the Democrats who have to clean it up, right? Maybe Donald Trump should step aside and let Roomba and Samsung take over. This has been WCPT telling you how you can shop blue.
Amazon Business. Discover smart business buying, where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. U.S. forces have carried out 3 waves of strikes on Iran in the past 24 hours after reimposing a naval blockade. Still, President Trump maintains Iran is ready to strike a peace deal. Asked if he has a deadline.
I don't like giving deadlines, but they pretty much know. They know the story. They better behave.
Oil prices again ticked higher, while AAA says the average for a gallon of gas is up to $3.89. On Wall Street, strong profit reports boosted stocks. The Dow added 150 points, or 0.3%. The S&P was up 0.4%, the Nasdaq 0.6%. In San Francisco Bay, rescuers are still searching for 3 people missing after a boat capsized and sank near Alcatraz yesterday. 1 person and a dog died. 16 rescued. Julie Walker reports the Midwest and the Northeast are getting not only heat, but smoke.
Thousands of visitors told to evacuate a remote Minnesota wilderness area because of wildfires, sending heavy smoke across the U.S. Midwest and Northeast. More than 100 wildfires are burning in Canada, with winds carrying that smoke southeast. Even the New York Aquarium is postponing a turtle release because of smoke. National Weather Service meteorologist Erica Hosick in Minnesota.
And that smoke is following the upper level winds around that heat dome, which are basically taking it from the northwest to the southeast, which then blows that, those fires are in western Ontario, they're in far northern Minnesota. The smoke from those is then going over the Great Lakes, over Toronto, into the northeastern United States, the mid-Atlantic region, New York City, Philadelphia, D.C., Boston.
Warnings about unhealthy air conditions extend from Minnesota through Toronto into New York. I'm Julie Walker.
And it'll be defending champion Argentina against Spain in Sunday's World Cup final. Argentina beat England in the semifinal this afternoon, 2-1. This is AP News. Major League Baseball held its All-Star game last night.
The American League has now won 18 of the last 23 Major League Baseball All-Star games following a 4-0 win last night in Philadelphia. Starter Dylan Cease and 10 relievers combined on a 3-hitter. All-Star game MVP Cody Bellinger.
My first few years in the big leagues, I was here, I think, 2 of my first 3 years, and I was like, I'll be here every year. So, took a long time to get back. It's such a, competitive league, and it's hard to be an all-star, health, performance, it all has to come together.
Bellinger hit a 2-run single.
Honestly, this one I just really enjoyed it.
Ben Rice added an RBI single in the first against Christopher Sanchez. Miguel Vargas added an 8th-inning home run. Rays third baseman Junior Caminero left the game after being hit by a pitch on his left hand. X-rays were negative. I'm Mike Hempen.
The latest at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
This is 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Regina Kroll. Parts of the region remain in a heat advisory. Patchy smoke will come in for this evening. We'll see passing clouds, a low around 75. Then for the day on Thursday, areas of smoke, isolated showers, and storms by afternoon. With a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day, it will be hot to high in the mid-90s, heat index values in the upper 90s. Isolated showers and storms continue Thursday night, a low of 74 with passing clouds. Showers and storms are likely Friday, mostly sunny with a high of 91. That's your latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 91 degrees.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. Let their story unfold and gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. Hire skills first. Learn why at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I never considered myself to be a heavy drinker. At first, I only drank with friends, then to get through the day. I hit rock bottom when I realized I was choosing alcohol over my family. That's when I made the call. With my doctor's help, I was diagnosed with alcohol use disorder. Now, I'm getting to the root of my addiction and finding better ways to cope.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing ass says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
It's fun to have your own show and a theme song. I have to remind myself just to start dancing again. I am so thrilled to have in studio with me my guest co-host on Wednesdays, my hump day honey, Ken Mejia-Beal. He is the Midwest chair for the Victory Fund. You can go to victoryfund.org.
Yes, and support great candidates like Zach Bachmann.
Exactly, and I love that. And we have on the line with us from KTNF AM950's show on Saturdays, broadcasting here at 4 o'clock Saturdays, the illegal trans woman, Ellie Krug, the host, joining us right now. Hey, Ellie, how are you doing today?
Hi, Ellie.
I'm doing great, Patty and Ken. I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I need to get to Minnesota. I know that your colleague, Matt McNeil's coming to Chicago, and I'm going to have him in studio on Friday. Very excited about that.
Cool. That is great.
Let me start here because we are going to talk Minnesota, and I wondered if you have any thoughts on the reaction that Senator Klobuchar had in the passing of Lindsey Graham and posting her remembrances of him that far exceeded what she had to say when Melissa Hortman was assassinated in her home with her husband and her dog. It was weird.
You know, Amy is going to be the,
governor.
She's going to be the Democratic nominee
Candidate
for governor here. Okay. And in all likelihood, she is going to win. I'm amazed, though, about how everyone forgets about how Lindsey Graham has said so many horrible things and done so many difficult things in his life. I mean, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
You can.
But
well, here, what I said the other day is I hold to this. I do not celebrate his death. However, I'm not weeping. I'm not weeping at his passing. I am sad for what he did when he was alive. That brings me more grief. And even Marjorie Taylor Greene said said in one of these interviews said that he was funny. She liked working with him, and then she said he was a murderer and he participated. She called him a murderer she said he was a warmonger, that he was supplying. Whether it was every single time he wanted us to go to war, he never wanted peace.
Right.
He wanted people to die.
And I just want to say it's not. I think speaking ill of the dead means that we're putting slander on their name.
Correct.
I don't think I have anything slanderous to say about Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham was horrible.
Yeah, if reading someone's record makes you feel bad about them.
That's not my fault that he lived a horrible life. Sorry.
Sorry.
Well, the thing is, of course, he's so representative, though, of the Trump era.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who in the 2015 campaign, because he was running for president, called Trump out for exactly what Trump is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Called him out. I mean, he was right on the money. At that time, of course, John McCain was alive, and he and McCain were good friends. But something happened, just as so many things have happened to other Republican leaders in the age of Trump. And that's the thing that is so troubling and problematic for me about him as a person. How can you just turn on a dime and lose all of your principles?
Yep.
How can you do that? And of course, we heard the same kind of question coming during Todd Blanche's nomination today. I mean, he had Democratic senators asking him, whatever happened to the old guy, to the one that was assistant prosecutor and, SDNY. What happened to that person? And there's something about Trump, about fear, how humans are afraid of bullies that cause them to just change the way they operate in the world. And it's horrible. It really is.
Ellie, can I say something? And I think you'll understand exactly what I'm putting down, and I think some of our listeners will too. Do you believe that a lot of these Republicans that are falling in line have secrets to hide that Trump might know, especially when we talk about Lindsey Graham, Lady Lindsey? And that's why I think when we live an authentic life, like there's nothing anyone can put out there about me that's going to change me, because I've said it. I have put it out there. So do you think that part of the price to pay when you live an inauthentic life is that you do have to sacrifice some of your values?
I think it's a combination of both. I think it's a combination of Trump having things on them, because once they get into bed with him, now he's got the goods. Okay. Yeah. I mean, he's, but I also think that it is about fear of the bully, and, and people trying to while they're afraid, trying to gain power for themselves and money and all of that, because Trump offers, in theory, the idea that you follow him, you will be enriched.
Right.
Got it.
You follow him, he will turn on you someday.
Absolutely.
Because he's a sociopath and because of the way that he is.
Yep. Well, and the fear is also his base, right? Whether they're threatening you or not voting for you or all the things that come with him throwing you to the
rabid base.
Yeah.
Well, of course, and this is what, for your listeners, I'm transgender, and this is, even today, okay, even today he's stoking, anti-trans prejudice. Because, he's talking about under the CHIPS Act, under Biden, which was a great law, which was a great program. And, we're starting to reap the rewards of it, saying, well, if you're a transgender, you got a chips factory, and I'm like, because they were like, in theory, hunting for transgender people to give money to for, to create, semiconductor factories. I saw that on Blue Sky, and I'm like, I wish I could.
Yeah, where does that come from?
It becomes from the fact that somebody tells Trump one random thing and then he just sort of runs with it. But he is, Trump is, and Graham, he certainly didn't do anything to protect the trans community, but Trump is this, marginalizer, hater,
yes,
whatever in chief. But both of you, did you see the blurb about now the Department of Defense, also known as the Department of War, is going to start testing its apparently male service members for their testosterone levels.
We chatted about
and if
it.
they don't have requisite testosterone, apparently they're going to order that they take testosterone shots. And I'm reading this and I'm thinking, that's what trans men in the military were doing.
Yeah, when we had the conversation earlier, the one thing I kept saying is this is gender affirming care, folks. This is exactly like just let's call a thing.
Okay, so I'm coming in on this after you guys have already talked
No, but
about
continue.
It.
No,
continue.
this hour is fresh for Minnesota too. That's absolutely. Yes,
but I thought the same thing.
It's just, it literally is mind-boggling. It just is the things that Hegseth, who was a major, is forcing upon our military, our service members, is just, anyway. Okay, so we're going all over the place.
No. But my, when I first saw the headline, I just thought, again, why do I need to know the policy? I don't, my whole life. I learned about policy in the military by watching movies like Stripes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or A Few Good Men. Yes, G.I. Jane. I had to keep it high and tight, you know, and like, I know that some branches of the military, women don't have to shave their hair all off. Like, they can have a bun and all those other things. Or how, at any rate, I didn't know, I didn't even know whether or not they had to have flu shots or not. And now they're getting flu outbreaks, on bases.
Yeah.
We didn't because we didn't have attention-hungry, narcissistic jerks who were running these departments. We didn't know these things. I'm sorry. We did know the Surgeon General. Do you remember under? I don't want to pat you on the head because you weren't born yet. But under Bill Clinton,
the lady.
Yeah, no, there was a. Do you remember Jocelyn Elders? Previously had recommended that one way for if you're going to have abstinence, if you're going to teach abstinence, also teach masturbation.
I remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yes. Because my grandmother was outraged that they said the word masturbation on the news.
I'm going to say it again. Pleasure yourself.
That's why I said the lady. I'll never forget. I see her face right now. My grandmother going, Harlot!
Yes. But it's one of those things where I remember being in high school going, we're talking about it. Or I was in college. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk. I'm sorry. You and me, or just me and me was what I think.
Just me and me. Yeah. All by my lonesome.
But that was look, there have been heads of departments, secretaries who we knew more about, but this has gotten to a level. Kash Patel going, having trips to go see his girlfriend and scuba diving amongst the graves of people who were the soldiers who were killed at Pearl Harbor and drinking with hockey teams. It's
he's drinking
bonkers.
With everybody.
Yes,
he's a drinker.
And this came up in the hearing today with Blanche, too. Did you see that?
Yeah. He said it was an obnoxious question.
Yes.
So, but,
yeah. Okay.
But I mean, you got to wonder about this whole cast of characters. The problem is they're driving us into the ground.
Yes.
As a country.
Quickly.
Yeah, a $400 million plane. A $400 million plane that they then had to retrofit and now is useless because it doesn't do the things that Air Force One has to do.
Yep.
What the frickin' frack?
But we should be promoting that he uses that plane as much as possible overseas.
Yeah, right. I mean, we knew it from the beginning. We knew it was going to be a dud. Who thought it was going to be a dud?
All of us knew.
We all knew it was going to be a dud. I mean, and the people who fall, the fact that he's profited over $5 billion. It's insane.
Well, he's a snake oil salesman. He is good at it.
All the things.
And what is he going to say tomorrow night? I mean, of course, all the networks are going to carry him because the networks are scared to death of this man. Yeah, I mean, there's no national correspondent, no MSN correspondent that's asked him a single question about the $5.6 million that, got paid to Eugene Carroll. And so they're going to carry the speech tomorrow night, the rant. I don't even know if speech is the right word for it. But what is he going to say? And how much more are we going to be driven into the ground after that speech?
Exactly. One listener says, Trump's speech tomorrow night will be a whole lot of nothing. His mind is out where the buses don't run.
That is a great statement.
I have not heard that.
Yeah, but Fox News will run it constantly.
Oh, they'll run it constantly, and every network will run it because they don't want to be sued for not running it. Yeah. Let's take a break here. We're hanging out with Ellie Krug. If you don't mind sticking around with us for another segment. Ellie Krug, the host of The Illegal Trans Woman, which you can hear here on Saturdays at 4:00. Again, you can tune in, and really, I love listening to your show. Ken Mejia-Beal, who I love listening to when he joins me and when he fills in for other hosts here at WCPT. We'll have some opportunities. There's something coming up, and I'm traveling finally in September. I think I'm going to Quebec and Montreal. I'm taking the family.
You mean you're going to the Canadian Ohio?
I am going to the Canadian Ohio. And in the meantime, I want to thank all of our sponsors for making sure these conversations happen. Please visit pridecoffeeroasters.com. Put in an order for the best roasted to order single origin beans you have ever had. Really wonderful, not just as business owners and the product that they have, the really tasty, incredible coffee that wakes me up every day. It crawls into my brain, flips over some tables, and says, "You got stuff to do. Let's go, lady."
Is that what it says?
That's what it says. Also, it's like a love letter in a mug. It does both those things. Yay. It's crazy. We also want to thank our friends at Source Solar. Peter Sorellis and Warren Price will be joining me on Monday. Show update on Monday now. That's the thing. I was texting.
I thought it was tomorrow.
I know. We've been producing during the show. Do you see how I get distracted when I ask, "Where are you from?" Just asked and answered. So that's a lot going on. So thank you to our friends at Source Solar. They'll join us in studio on Monday, so have your questions ready because I know they always come with so much information to keep you up to date on what's going on with the solar panel industry and how it can benefit you, because when you go green, you save green. We also want to thank our friends at Minocqua Brewing Company. Hello, everyone watching on the Substack, Minocqua Brewing Company, as well as Facebook and YouTube. If you go to the Minocqua Brewing Company marketplace, you can find some incredible products, and today is a good day to pick up some Abolish Ice t-shirts, pins, all the things. Abolish Ice, and also Ice Out. Liberal Lawn, if you are watching, they made this banner behind me. We won't go quietly back to the 1950s. They also have Chinga la Migra on banners, so you can get am I allowed to? Do we have to dump that? Oh, it's okay. It's all of the things. Go to the marketplace from Minocqua Brewing Company. Let's take a break here, and I will take a breath and learn how to slow down and articulate things better. More in a moment on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150, KTNF AM950. We're happy you're all here.
If you're drowning in debt, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender, about a fresh start debt consolidation refinance. Today, meet Jordan, 47, project manager, married to Jackie, 43, executive assistant, combined income 260 G's a year, living in a $600,000 home with their 3 kids, called to pay off $120,000 worth of credit card debt, high interest rate consumer loans, and 2 401k loans. Team Hochberg loan officer Cindy Piazza helped Jordan and Jackie pay off their debt, eliminated their stress with the Team Hochberg Fresh Start Debt Consolidation Refinance, which saved them over $12,000 a year. Team Hochberg's helped thousands of radio listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. That number again is 855-563-2843 or visit that website you know and love, 56david.com. Atlantic Coast Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 643114.
Hey Progressives, it's Richard Chu, host of Chu's Views weekdays 6 to 8 a.m. Central. We're all anxious for the 2026 midterm election to arrive so we can restore some sanity and much-needed oversight to our government. In fact, it's the most important midterm election in American history, and Chu's Views will be in the thick of it, bringing you candidate interviews on a regular basis. I'll be talking to Democratic Party hopefuls running for House and Senate at the federal and state level, as well as candidates for governor and other state and local offices.
I am in love with our ability to fight for our rights, to fight for our future, to fight for our freedoms, to fight as our ancestors fought. It's just our moment. This is just our time to stand up and to speak up. We can't give up on this.
If you miss any of the interviews live, you'll be able to find them all on WCPT's candidate interviews page at heartlandsignal.com/candidates. That's Choose Views weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. on WCPT, Chicago's progressive talk for 20 years.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Here's great news for those Chicagoans heading up to southern Wisconsin. Should you ever forget to load up on progressive brews from the local favorites like Rogers Park Provisions or Park West Liquor in Lincoln Park, Minocqua Brewing Company beer is now conveniently available at Dream Liquor and Cigar in Kenosha and in the Lake Geneva area at Delavan Liquor and Smoke in Delavan. If the great town of Madison, Wisconsin is your jam, please remember to swing into the Minocqua Brewing Company tap room at 2927 East Washington Avenue to grab some Resistance beer, pizza, t-shirts, and progressive camaraderie.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal in Chicago. We want to thank our friends who are tuning in on KKNW 1150 in Seattle, KTNF AM950 Minneapolis, St. Paul, all of our friends who are tuning in digitally on Facebook, YouTube, and now Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. Please subscribe to the Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. Sometimes you'll get an email from me, and I host an office hours. I'll have you on as a guest. I do an office hours every Monday, 1 p.m. Central, half an hour, just conversation, just like this.
Let's do it.
We can do it on Zoom. You don't even have to come in if you don't want to.
I can do it on Zoom.
You can do it on Zoom. You can go to the beach and talk to me from the beach.
You don't want that.
I can have Ellie Krug on. Ellie Krug, the host of The Illegal Trans Woman, joins us on the line. She hosts on Saturdays at 4 o'clock here. You can hear the show, and we're so thrilled to have you back. We mentioned Senator Amy Klobuchar and her remembrances of Lindsey Graham, and so that gubernatorial race. You mentioned that you might want to discuss a little bit any developments with the Republican candidates, because I totally forgot about this guy with the pillows.
Pillow man, the pillow guy,
yeah,
or whatever.
Mike Lindell.
Yes.
So, I mean the Republican nominating commission or convention's already happened. Lindell didn't get the nom. Okay. But he's running as he's running as an independent.
Okay. Excellent.
And I mean, as a Republican independent, he got the endorsement from Trump today.
Yes.
And of course, supposedly Trump is this, great kingmaker or whatever. Mike Lindell has less than a zero chance of being elected governor of Minnesota. Okay?
Wow.
I mean, let me just tell you. I mean, this man is he's failed his business. He's he is in debt. What did I read? He's $50,000. He hasn't paid a property tax bill on his property in Chaska, which is just down the street from where I live. I mean, I drive past where his pillow factory was. The guy, but you know what? I mean, I'm in a town next to where the pillow factory was. I can go a mile, and there's a huge sign, elect Mike Lindell.
Wow.
For governor.
So, Ellie,
I mean, there are actually multiple signs, elect Mike Lindell. Okay. And this guy is a goof. He's a fool. He's not going to get elected. But by all means, Republicans, knock yourselves out.
Exactly.
My question to you, just for a follow-up, a little sarcastic follow-up, if you will. So you're telling me today Donald Trump endorsed someone who's a failed businessman and a grifter.
Amazing. I know. How could that
that's blowing my mind. I can't believe it.
I mean, because usually it's such candidates of such high character. Yeah.
The thing that comes to mind for me when I think of the name, and there's obviously the pillows. When I was at another radio station, I had to read live reads, and I remember I had a guest on who was just dissing on Mike Lindell, and I was I can't. This is different. I get it. Well, I agree. Yeah. But at any rate, the thing that comes to mind for me was after the first summer. This was during the pandemic, like 2021. So after President Biden, took office, right after he was inaugurated, for that summer, I was in Columbus, Indiana, a really beautiful town, actually, a really unique town that has a deep history of architecture and artists that have gone there, and just a wonderful community. And it's Indiana, and I just remember being in this diner. You know how they always go they send CNN, or they always send reporters to these diners. Yeah, and I was sitting there like, oh, this is why they do it. These people are nuts, because they were talking about Mike Lindell and how, because it was the summer, maybe June or whatever.
You gotta love a diner.
The whole diner was talking about how Trump was coming back, that he was actually he was still the president, and that he was still running the country, and Mike Lindell was making everything happen. The whole diner completely believed. And so, and the reason I bring this up is that over and over and over again, things like that prove to be false, right? Those things don't come to fruition. And there's people who deeply believe, all the things. It tells you that it is a cult.
It is a cult, yes.
They're just not going to be shook loose. And so I was telling Ken that someone chastised me online for calling someone a bootlicker. Once in a while, my dander's up, and I'm just going to slap people down. And then someone's like, they said one line to him about, being here illegally is not punishable by death. For me, it was a whole diatribe about, if we talk to them like that, we're never going to be able to come to an agreement. I'm not going to agree with you. I don't have to. It's not my job.
I said this once, and I will repeat it as much as I can. I don't take what to say classes from moderates. Don't tell me what to say, because I pick a side. So
because
leave me alone.
That's how we got here, Ellie, isn't it? I mean, just because when the bathroom issue started in North Carolina, I still to this day, 14, 15 years later, I still have friends who are like, well, you got to agree that I'm like, no, I don't.
I don't agree.
I don't have to agree that on athletes, the amount that it affects you or the vast majority of people is nil.
Right.
No, except for the person that is just trying to express themselves.
Yes.
And be an athlete.
But on this side of the ledger, the fact is that people believe so much stupid stuff.
Yes. So stupid.
About transgender people and other people in general. I mean, about immigrants, about the Haitians and, Springfield, Ohio.
Oh my God. See, again, untrue.
But and it's because that people, they're not curious on their own. They don't read. Mm-hmm. They don't investigate on their own. They don't analyze various news sources. They just let somebody else, feed them stuff. I mean, I had lost a relative over the voting and for Trump and all that stuff, but I decided I would reach back out and, I love these people, but, and I'm trying to have this reconciling conversation. And then I start hearing, well, it's the Democrats that are keeping Donald Trump, from fulfilling programs. Mm. And then, eventually I asked her, I said, you don't really believe that, fifth grade boys go to school as boys and that they get operated on in the school cafeteria and come home as girls. You don't really believe that, do you? And the answer back was, I sure hope that's not true.
Right.
That is insane. That is insane.
And my friend Adam Salzer, who's an author, says, do you know how busy the janitor is? And now they got to deal with that kind of stuff. They're doing that.
They can't even get books.
They're doing.
They can't even get books.
The lunch ladies are good, but they're not that good.
No. They just mastered the sloppy Joe like a decade ago.
Oh my God. Ellie, it's always great to have you.
Me, from personal experience, this is more complicated than sloppy Joe. I just want you to know.
I know how to do this.
I'm sure it is.
I will take your word for it.
Listeners, feel free to reach out.
I'll send them your way.
There you go. Ellie Krug, the host of The Illegal Trans Woman, here on Saturdays, 4 p.m. Are you watching the World Cup at all? Are you getting sucked into that?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I've got a whole lot of other things going on, but I'm keeping track, certainly.
It's two of the most hated teams playing each other.
I'm rooting for Argentina at this point because
it's just so funny. I know.
Colonialism. Colonialism.
But the Nazism just... Not the whole country. Not the whole country.
Ism's going on both sides.
I know. I'm doing the best I can with what I got.
Sorry, Argentina.
I was hoping for the Norwegians. I really was.
Me too.
I was hoping for Brazil, so I've been out for a while.
Scotland, I've been gone.
I'm trying the best.
They were done a while ago, and they took their skirts with them. Thank you, skirts. Thank you so much, Ellie. We'll talk to you again in a few weeks. If anything comes up and you want to hop on, please don't hesitate to reach out. Okay, please.
Okay.
We'd love to have you.
And keep doing a great job, Ellie. Love listening to your program. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Let's take a break here. We'll continue our conversation in just a moment on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KTNW 1150, KTNF AM950. Hi, everybody watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Monaco Brewing Company Substack. Subscribe, like, share with your community so they can join the conversation too.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Regina Kroll. Parts of the region remain in a heat advisory. Patchy smoke will come in for this evening. We'll see passing clouds, a low around 75. Then for the day on Thursday, areas of smoke, isolated showers and storms by afternoon. With a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day, it will be hot to high in the mid-90s, heat index values in the upper 90s. Isolated showers and storms continue Thursday night, a low of 74 with passing clouds. Showers and storms are likely Friday, mostly sunny with a high of 91. That's your latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 91 degrees.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
It's 4 words no parent should ever hear. Your child is sick. It's 4 words that change everything. Those 4 words can define a family. It's 4 words that are filled with pain, heartache, and grief. And with those 4 words, the innocence and joy of childhood disappears. But Starlight has taught us 4 other words that make all the difference. The power of play. Healing begins with happiness. That's why Starlight Children's Foundation delivers happiness through gaming, toy deliveries, and more to 3 million kids at more than 700 hospitals across the country to deliver happiness when it matters most. Learn more at starlight.org.
When you get a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease, things get real.
And nobody understands that better than the Parkinson's Foundation. We provide resources and support because there are things you can do to improve your quality of life. So, whether you're newly diagnosed, have been living with Parkinson's, or caring for a loved one,
find real answers at the Parkinson's Foundation.
Go to parkinson.org or call our helpline at 1-800-4PD-INFO.
Because facts matter. You're listening to WCPT 820.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3000. 3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk and
Or Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Ken Mejia-Beal and I have really enjoyed our time together. I like to be honest with folks that sometimes there are folks who are only available at certain times, so I pre-record interviews with them. And coming up in just a moment, we're going to hear an interview with, I believe it's Michael Negron. Is that today's interview on the? I don't know where the show is.
No, is it Todd Northcutt?
Todd, there's a Pride event coming up. Yes. A Pride event coming up. I did like 3 interviews today, and I screwed up one of them with a technical issue, and I have to do the whole thing over again. It's like when you remember when you didn't know how to retrieve a document you'd just been working on. Like we didn't have we had word processors, and once you lost something, it was gone
forever.
And that's what happened to me today.
I'm so sorry.
It was just my voice. If we played it and didn't check it, it would look like I was crazy. Like it just me, like the phantom voice.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So today we have there's an event coming up. We are so thrilled to share this conversation with you coming up in just a few moments. I love that there are places that are like queer all year. Like we're not going to do it all in June.
Well, I will say I'm going to World Gay Pride, which is in Amsterdam. So I will be in Amsterdam for World Gay Pride on July 31st and August 1st, celebrating World Pride.
Excellent. I love that.
In a crop top.
I need photos. I will say, when I travel, it's funny to me how much the rainbow matters to me.
It matters.
And when I wear it, when other people wear it, like we all compliment each other whenever we see each other, wherever we are. It's like automatic community.
Yeah.
So it's just again, it will never cease to amaze me. The anger we were talking earlier about these.
They love being angry.
These winners. Are whiners.
Yep.
They are the softest.
Very sensitive.
They're so sensitive.
Like, I don't know how my lifestyle offends you.
Yeah, I mean, they're breaking keyboards with their cap locks.
I'm so mad.
Yeah,
Why, baby?
I do wonder how many people have blood pressure medication because they listen to my show out of rage. So
I hope that they're listening. I hope they are.
I feel like we probably missed a lot of news stories. I mean, we're attacking Iran again. And how much of that is market manipulation at some point, right?
3 words: wag the dog. Great movie. Check it out.
That poor dog is tired. Leave that dog alone.
Leave the dog alone.
Leave us all alone.
Yes.
Ken, do you have anything coming up?
Yes, tomorrow, Skeleton Key Brewery trivia night. Sign up is at 6:30. Skeleton Key Brewery, Woodridge, Illinois. Google Skeleton Key Brewery, Woodridge, Illinois.
And what's the theme tomorrow night?
Tomorrow's theme is American pop culture through 80s through today.
Oh, I like that range.
80s through today.
Oh, so vintage. 80, yeah, vintage.
Yes.
I am vintage, and that's fine. I'm turning 55 in August. What? Early bird special, baby. Let's
go to Denny's, baby. Moon's over my hammy.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I never lie when we have pre-record. Well, not, I don't know, never. Now it's just like blocked myself into a corner. Todd Northcutt coming up in just a moment. Thank you so much to Ken Mejia-Beal. Thank you to Lady B. Thank you to our sponsors, Pride Coffee Roasters, Are You Really Winning, Social Change, Berman, Kia, and Subaru, Pride Coffee Roasters, all the folks who really do a lot of support for us. Go to those websites. Go to the heartlandsignal.com website. You can see all the sponsors who provide these conversations all day long.
Couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, couldn't do it without them. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a great, enjoy our conversation and learn about some Pride events.
Yeah, don't go
near you. Don't go anywhere.
Stay right there.
In the Politics Bar, in the Matt McNeil. And here we go.
You know that you can listen to Chicago's Progressive Talk on WCPT AM820. Stream us live at WCPT820.com and on the TuneIn Radio app. Or you can ask Alexa, Siri, or Google to play WCPT from TuneIn. But now you have another option. We're simulcasting our programming overnights. 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. on WSBC AM1240 for a clearer reception in and around the city. Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820. And now overnights on WSBC 1240 AM, where facts matter.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, and KTNF AM950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Of course, all of our friends tuning in on various apps and platforms, including YouTube and Facebook. Please consider following the WCPT Facebook page and YouTube page, where our community is continuing to grow. And that's the part I love about doing this show, is community. And we're thrilled to welcome to the show Todd Northcutt, who is the co-chair of the Peoria River City Pride Festival, taking place on Saturday, July 18th. And I'll be full disclosure here, Todd. Folks know that I run into the studio at the last minute, but this one was even later. So you were being extremely gracious and patient. How are you doing today?
I am doing great today. It's a nice day out, so doing well.
Well, so by see in Chicago, we've had this like a string of like muggy weather. Are you getting any of that sort of steamy summer weather?
Yes, the past couple days have been, but today not so much. So that's kind of why I said that, because it's finally kind of over.
little break in the heat. Yeah. Now, first of all, I love Peoria, not only because it's the birthplace or at least the hometown of one of my favorite comedians of all time, Richard Pryor. And I've also heard in the last few years, especially this kind of came up during the pandemic, that there's a growing community. People have come to Peoria from other parts of the country, in part because of the protections that we have in the state of Illinois. Has that been your experience?
Yeah, so we're noticing a lot with surrounding states that aren't really the safest place for like trans friends and trans individuals. And then Peoria kind of grew in popularity as an affordable city to move to. Like, you can afford to buy a house here. So then with that, on top of, us being in Illinois, we've been seeing a large increase of queer individuals moving here. They've estimated probably like 250 so far. So yeah, that's quite a big number for the size of Peoria.
And I remember seeing a piece recently, and I'm guessing you might have caught it, this woman who feels like she moved there for the affordability, but I think she's moving because she feels like people in Peoria don't have any pride there. Like, everybody talks about how much, like, that sounds like also people that you maybe surround yourself with, right?
Yeah, I've seen and I've heard that quite a bit, because we have like every town has like that Facebook page that everyone's on called like the Peoria community, and the amount of negative people that have just never ventured outside Peoria a day in their life, and just completely negative. But then someone started a new one called Peoria Transplants, and it's just flooded with love for the city. So it's really just who you're surrounding yourself with, like, and just kind of getting yourself out there. Like, we have dozens of events all through, Pride Month, June and July. And there's just so much to do here that I don't think everyone realizes.
I have always enjoyed going to Peoria. You have a great comedy club there, right across from the Speedway. I think it's the Jukebox Comedy Club, run by our good friend Dan Conlon. And I love Peoria. I really do. The people. I think that there's unsung wonderful food landscape there too, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh, lots of awesome local restaurants here in town.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am a fan of Peoria, so I'm so glad that you have this event. How many years have you guys been running Pride events?
Yeah, we kind of so Peoria Proud, who puts on River City Pride, has been around since late 2013 doing events and everything, but we kind of restarted Pride in 2019 and saw about 1,000 people at that, and had a little bit of a virtual for a couple of years due to COVID. But back on the riverfront, 2023, and just steadily growing ever since then. We saw probably 7,500 people was estimated last year.
What?
Yeah,
that's amazing. And are you seeing folks come from Iowa? I mean, is it Iowa or Missouri? I'm trying to think of what's on the other side, the closest to you.
Yeah, so Iowa would probably be the closest. I ran into, because I was around interviewing people all day. Like, I met people coming down from Chicago, Iowa, St. Louis, Indiana, like just people everywhere. Yeah.
That's lovely. I love it. And I hope that people are coming for the weekend. Like I said, there is quite a bit to see in Peoria and in the surrounding areas too. And so this is going to be at the River City Pride Festival, an all-day celebration. Tell folks a little bit about, the events planned for the day? I'm guessing there's a lot of music and vendors, artists, and the such.
Yeah. Well, and to kind of just start with talking about the weekend, it is all weekend that we have events. So we do an educational event on Friday where we got an Illinois Humanities Rhodes Scholar to come in. And then Pride Fest starts at 10 a.m. And it's not just drag show. So we have lots of drag happening that day. Nene Coco, who's on the current season of RuPaul's Drag Race, is headliner. And we also have Kennedy Davenport, who's also on RuPaul's Drag Race. But on top of that, we also have like a gay men's choir coming, and the Chicago Spirit Brigade of like gymnastics, and lots of different bands and local stuff going on as well. So just all kinds of entertainment. We have an entire area dedicated to a family zone that Positive Health Solutions sponsors for us, where there's face painting and balloon artists and bouncy houses. And we put all the vendors that are family friendly over there, that, resources that families would kind of, find useful. So yeah, 120 vendors.
That's wonderful. We were talking to our friends in Ottawa. Their Pride event is Saturday, June 13th, and they also have a comedy show coming up on June 20th. And so Dylan was telling me, now do you work with do you kind of touch base with other Pride organizations to see how they're doing? Is it a little competitive? Is it a little like supportive, or seeing how everyone else is managing everything?
We really like to work together. We actually started a downstate Pride organization where we met with the majority of the downstate Prides happening, and we table at each other's events, because there is pretty much a Pride event happening in Illinois from like April all the way into October when Champaign has theirs. So we love to work together with them and do all that. So
that's great. Because Dylan, you mentioned resources for families and support for kids in an area where there's also educational elements to it. Because Dylan was telling me the genesis of Ottawa Pride was a mother whose child was transitioning at 12. And I really thought it's remarkable what drives the energy behind what the work that you're all doing. What do you know, like what was some of the origins, the genesis for the Peoria Pride events or the organization? Just sort of the community?
Back when Peoria Proud started, they just kind of saw a gap in the community of having, community together. And we work directly with like a lot of other organizations in town, like PFLAG, which is more like the youth, and they come to our family zone as well. But just to be present and have community together is just really how it stemmed and started. We weren't involved with it, but there was Pride festivals happening in Peoria like all the way back in 2008 on the riverfront. So yeah, it's a pretty long history for it.
And I would, with the history and thankfully, right, in a moment, because there are folks who are like, why do we gotta, why is there a whole celebration? It's also about survival and thriving. We often talk about survival, and we also often talk about support. But also it should be about thriving, especially in current conditions where there's particular hatred directed at the community, correct?
Yeah. And, just when someone asks us, like, why do we need Pride Fest and stuff, like I suggest spend just 5 minutes on a news article on Facebook and look at the comment section of just people attacking, like, why does this exist? And like, where's our straight pride? I'm like, well, were you guys ever arrested at a bar for being straight, or attacked on the street, or like a lot of trans people killed just for who you were? The answer is most likely no. I'm going to take a wild guess. So, but my favorite thing to say is go plan it.
Yeah, right. This isn't something that was given. This is something that has been worked for, sweated for, bled for.
Yes. And, we're just all through the month, like we're also celebrating Stonewall, where we're lighting up the Murray Baker Bridge, that main bridge when you come into Peoria, in rainbow colors, and same day as Pride Fest as well. And just kind of honoring how we started, because when we look at like what's happening in today's climate, it's kind of hard to lose track on how far we've come in the first place. So just that's why we have that like history component the day before Pride. Like, look how far we have come. we got to celebrate these milestones, but also we got to look at towards the future and how much further we need to go as well.
Absolutely. And while Illinois is a place that people are turning to for, better, just to be who you are in a safer environment. I mean, that's not true throughout the whole state. We have the legislation. It's not necessarily, how do I put it this way? It's not a statewide vibe.
Yeah. Well, when we were talking with these other Pride Fests and downstate, because we're very lucky in Peoria, we have a supportive city council and county board that gives us proclamations. But then we talked to Bond County Pride more in Southern Illinois, and their city was fighting against them to let them use their square, which they had every right to use the public space for an event.
Right.
So just that's not even just a couple hours away. They're getting these pushbacks and just trying to support as much as we can, with kind of the leverage we have as a little bit of a bigger city and such to help them out.
Now, this event, the Pride Weekend. Tell us about the dates and some of the time frame, and how folks can get some information too.
Yeah, so best place to look is at our website and Facebook. It all kicks off on a Friday at 6:30 over in Peoria Heights. We got the Illinois Rhodes Scholar, and interesting enough, she's talking about the Great Migration, people moving from the South into Illinois, and the digital divide now. But something I didn't realize is the founder of Chicago was a Black man who lived in Peoria first before migrating up the river. And I was like, what?
DuSable did? DuSable lived in Peoria first?
Yes, and owned land here and traded. And I was like, oh, I cannot wait to learn all about that from her, Yeah, and then Pride Fest all day Saturday, rain or shine, and then Sunday. I don't remember the time exact. 11 o'clock. We have a dragon paint brunch over at the Casino Hotel Paradise, where you just get to paint with our main entertainment. Miss Flo has a dragon paint, so a brunch included with your ticket price for that, and it'll just be a fun weekend all around.
And what's the best website for folks to get information? And also the social media platforms you would like to invite people to join?
Yeah, so PeoriaProud.org. And from that, you could find our link tree where people can sign up to vendor, sponsor, volunteer at the event. All of our Facebook pages are Peoria Proud. And then we also have a River City Pride Facebook page and Instagram as well that we have a great marketing girl, Charlize, who has been posting hundreds of posts to really get people amped up for this.
Oh, fantastic. And that's the thing it's the energy. It's also just sharing the joy. That's a big part of this. And I love that you're incorporating sort of the history, the educational, the resources and support. And that's really what community, is about, is gathering and sharing, right?
Yeah, and if anyone comes, going back to the history a little bit, I'll be on a golf cart all day doing golf cart trivia. Get two questions wrong, it's kind of like Cash Cab. You're getting kicked out of the golf cart, but lots of prizes to win, and a good combination of easy questions and a little bit tougher ones. So,
oh boy, can I have a trial question? Do you have any in front of you or off the top of your head? I won't know the answer probably.
I'll give you one of the easy ones I wrote down just to prove to people how easy. What does the L in LGBTQ plus stand for?
I hope it's lesbian.
Yes, correct.
All right.
And then we kind of go into when was the first Pride Fest in Peoria at the riverfront, stuff like that, So
yeah. When was it? So when was it? Well, you know what? Let's not give the answers because they have to answer in the golf cart to be able to stay on the golf cart.
Yeah. So the first one, ever in Peoria would have been 2008 at the riverfront. Okay. But the first one with Peoria Proud would have been 2019.
Excellent. Oh, so much fun. I really love that you've done that. Now, I forgot to ask at the beginning because usually I ask my guests stuff about themselves. Now, did you grow up in Peoria?
Close, kind of. Bloomington, right outside Bloomington in a small town. Yeah, just right outside Bloomington.
And what drew you to Peoria as your next residence?
Well, before COVID, I was working as a chef. So I came to Peoria, and that's kind of what I was doing. And then when that job kind of disappeared, I took over my dad's family business and been doing that ever since. So,
and may I ask what your family's business is?
Yeah, it's a Hadaway Transport. So we provide medical transport for people, fully wheelchair accessible to get people to doctor's appointments and such. Yeah, we started it for my grandma about 14 years ago, so it's very deep in the heart for that. So
that's lovely. I'm so glad that I asked that. That's great. So from the need of making sure your grandmother got someplace, you realize that other people could benefit from that.
Yeah, we bought a van for her. Now I have to, my favorite thing about her, I always have to say, she did not care about those doctor's appointments. Hers was she had a weekly hair appointment. She was that generation. She had to get her hair, the higher the hair, the closer to God.
Amazing.
So she had to make that 3:30 every Wednesday hair appointment. So that's where that stemmed from.
So it's for mobility. That's fantastic. I just heard a conversation about this that used to be what a lot of women did. They would get their hair, they wouldn't wash their hair. I remember I used to be a lifeguard, and the women would swim with their heads above the water because they didn't want to get it wet before their next appointment. And they would just do the breaststroke.
She never washed her own hair since she was a child. So that was just how they did it.
Exactly.
I like it.
And it's also, as you get older, because I get my hair cut near a senior center. I mean, it's a wonderful way to socialize and stay up on what's, gossip or even like celebrities and things like that, as it being a beauty salon.
My best friend is the guy that does my hair. Just sitting there chit-chatting once a month and hearing all the gossip, and he's basically people's therapist doing their hair all the time, So,
yeah. You get certified in that, have it as a side gig or part of the gig.
That'd be a really good business, where you're certified in both.
I think so. I see another market, another business opportunity here.
Right.
We have been talking, right? I say we go. Let's someone get the trademark for that. I think
exactly.
I wonder if that exists somewhere, because there's a coffee shop in Chicago called Sip and Hope, or Hope and Sip, but it's also sort of a resource for mental health services, both at a coffee shop, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm saying nothing is off the table, my friend.
It probably does exist somewhere, but
it's got to. You would think. We have had the pleasure of hanging out with Todd Northcutt, who is the co-chair of the Peoria River City Pride Festival. Now, the festival the dates are, again, just remind folks.
Yeah, so it'd be the weekend of the 17th, 18th, and 19th of July.
July. And you guys are doing it. So you're not crowded by all the other Pride events across the state of Illinois.
And that's kind of the main reason we do it. We have something going on every weekend in June that we're kind of like amping up for Pride, and people can still go to Chicago, experience that, and then they can come down here as well. So no competition or anything, and it will always be the third weekend of July.
Well, I so appreciate that. The conversation. I'm hoping that I get to, I should call the comedy club and see if they have any gigs open for me for that weekend too, so I can make it.
There you go.
Again, go to PeoriaProud.org for more information about all the events lined up for you. Again, that's July 17th through the 19th. It's a whole weekend for the entire family, and Peoria is a great city. So I would say get on the line and maybe get a hotel room and spend the whole weekend there if you're not from the area.
We have a room block of discounted rates at the Embassy Suites in East Peoria, Hilton Hotel. So grab those while we still have them. Nice discount. So
excellent. Yeah. Make it a weekend, folks. Make it a Pride weekend with our friends in Peoria. Todd, thank you so much again for your patience and graciousness and for sharing this great event with us.
Yes, thanks so much for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you. Everyone have a great evening. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Love you all.
Check up on health with Chris Whitting.
Can alcohol be good for the heart? In some cases, yes. Dr. Joshua Rosenblum was a med student at Harvard Medical School when he studied 1,200 women who had had a heart attack, then checked up on them 10 years later.
What we found is that people who drank a moderate amount of alcohol had better survival compared to those who abstained entirely. It was almost a 35% lower risk of mortality.
While the health benefits of red wine are widely recognized, Dr. Rosenblum says other adult beverages seem to be just as beneficial.
In our study, we looked separately at people drinking beer or wine, white and red together, and liquor, and we didn't see any differences.
The American Heart Association recommends no more than 1 drink per day for women. And of course, it's always wise to check with your doctor. For Checkup on Health, I'm Chris Whitting.
Progressive Insurance. Progressive can protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things. Bundle today at Progressive.com.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. Senate confirmation hearing today for Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche to assume the post on a permanent basis. Ed Donahue has a report.
Blanche was asked about a fund that would compensate allies of President Trump and a tax immunity deal for the president.
There is no weaponization fund. The weaponization fund is dead.
Texas Republican John Cornyn is skeptical.
Just to be clear, the President of the United States, who is a plaintiff in this lawsuit, has not agreed in writing to delete the weaponization fund, and there's no guarantee that he or one of the other plaintiffs might raise that issue by way of a lawsuit and a breach of contract lawsuit in the future.
Cornyn has not committed his support for Blanche. Following the death of South Carolina's Lindsey Graham, there are 11 Republicans and 10 Democrats on the Senate Judiciary Committee. If even one Republican on that committee votes no on Blanche, the nomination would be rejected. Ed Donahue, Washington.
At another confirmation hearing, Democrats asked President Trump's pick for National Intelligence Director, Jay Clayton, whether Joe Biden won the 2020 election.
Joe Biden was certified as the president of the United States.
Drawing this from Senator John Ossoff.
You refuse to answer a basic question about who won a presidential election, but you asked to lead America's intelligence community? Isn't it humiliating to be unable to answer this question, to have to indulge the president's delusions?
Despite a new policy directing ICE officers to stop making traffic stops after recent fatal shootings, President Trump says those stops should continue. On the Iran war, President Trump says,
"They do want to settle. We'll find out whether or not we settle with them or we just finish it off."
The U.S. has reimposed a naval blockade on Iran and intensified airstrikes. Oil prices ticked higher again, while AAA says gasoline's averaging $3.89 per gallon nationwide. This is AP News. Argentina fans celebrating in Atlanta with their national team advanced to the World Cup final with a 2-1 victory over England. Jennifer King reports in Paris.
France's National Assembly has approved a bill that would allow medically assisted suicide. Supporters like Anne Renaud gathered to watch and celebrate.
Grateful to finally have the possibility to say to people who are suffering that they have an option.
Eligible patients must be adult French citizens or legal residents with an incurable advanced stage illness, suffering unbearably, and make repeated requests of their own free will. Psychiatric disorders and neurological diseases like Alzheimer's would not qualify. Opponents like Ségolène Peruccio, head of the French Society for Palliative Care, say the measure lacks safeguards and sends the wrong message to vulnerable patients. The legislation must still clear a constitutional review. I'm Jennifer King.
More news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Dive deeper into the heart of the news and stories at WCPT 820 and across the Midwest by checking out our website, heartlandsignal.com.
It's the coverage I can count on every time.
For the latest news updates, in-depth analysis, compelling stories, comprehensive election coverage, live streams, and thought-provoking opinions, head to heartlandsignal.com.
When I need to know, they're there.
They keep me informed and updated wherever I am.
Stay informed with WCPT 820, your go-to source for where facts matter.
This is a WCPT Veteran Minute. In 1939, when Europe was on the brink of war, a single mother was bringing Jewish refugees into her home, teaching her 2 daughters to help others when you can and fight injustice. Freddie and Tross Alferstegen took their mother's advice to heart, joining their mother in distributing anti-Nazi newspapers and pamphlets for the resistance, a dangerous act when the Nazis invaded the Netherlands. But with the girls being young, Freddie being only 14 and Tross being only 16, Nazis were less likely to suspect them to be working for the resistance. This is most likely why in 1941, a commander of the Haarlem resistance group to ask their mother if he could recruit Freddie and Tross. Their mother and the girls agreed and were given basic training, and within 2 years the girls were bringing Jewish refugees into hiding, working in emergency hospitals, sabotaging bridges and railway lines, and killing Nazis, sometimes ambushing them from their bicycles. Despite the Netherlands not wanting to acknowledge the girls' achievements, their contributions to helping the Allied powers will never be unnoticed.
The best words to hear at the TSA security checkpoint? You're good to go. So check before you jet. Avoid delays at TSA security checkpoints by making sure you have an acceptable form of ID. That means a real ID, passport, or other acceptable forms of identification.
Visit tsa.gov/ID to check the full list of acceptable IDs.
Avoid travel delays by checking ID requirements, and you're good to go.
Behind every meal are the efforts of our farmers and farm workers, whose work feeds our families and powers our communities. For more than 30 years, AgSafe has supported this industry with the knowledge and resources needed to keep workers safe and thriving. We partner with agricultural employers to strengthen safety practices and provide hands-on training. Safety isn't paperwork, it's people, community, and peace of mind. Learn more about our work at agsafe.org. Sponsored by agsafe.org.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Welcome to the bar. It's political. Step up to the bar. Thinking critical. Don't think at the bar, whoever you are. The Politics Bar. With Sean Smith, Pierce, and Jody Hamilton.
Hey, Jody, what day is it?
My chassis is fine.
Lonnie, I got to ask, is her chassis fine?
The Politics Bar.
Yeah, he agrees. He confirms. Thank you very much, everybody who is coming into the Politics Bar this Wednesday evening. Jody, as you can hear, she is here. Say hello, Jody.
Hello, Jody.
Thank you very much. Wherever you guys are coming in from whatever one of our wonderful radio stations, whether you are listening on stations like Georgia Now Radio in the Atlanta area or WCPT AM820 in Chicago, maybe you're listening on AM950 Minneapolis, St. Paul, the Detour Talk in Tennessee, or Progressive Voices Radio worldwide, wherever you happen to be, or maybe you are one of our many and various future people. Thank you very much, everybody who listens to us, and especially if you subscribe. We love you if you're a future people, but if you're a brilliant future people, you subscribe at thepoliticsbar.com. $6 a month gets you the podcast ad-free. You can listen whenever, wherever. Plus, you get the news of the day, news on tap. You pour it out into your email. It's there. It's easy. And we get you the drink of the day as well. We'll get you the recipe if you subscribe. And this one, well, today's drink, let's just say it talks about the rule of law and legitimate reasons for states of emergency. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you should subscribe. There you go. So how was yesterday? So you were your equipment was not working properly and you couldn't get to the bar.
Really? We're going with that?
That's what I was telling everybody yesterday, is that you were on your way to the bar and then all of a sudden you couldn't get here, which is true.
I was doing stuff and then...
Yeah, I get it. So it happens. Look, you're here today. That's what matters. We've got a lot of people actually who are here today. A lot of folks commenting today on the social media stuff. I'm telling you, this was, Mary and Felix and Larry and Logic and Heirloom Antifa and Karen and Seth, by the way, and Brother David as well. See, busy night tonight here at the Politics Bar. We'll get to comments from most of y'all. Got to start out with, well, what do you want to start out? Do you want to start out with some of the stuff from yesterday that you may or may not have missed, because obviously some of that bled over to today with the immigration wars? Or do you want to start out with the Kabuki Theater on Capitol Hill? Or do you want to start out with Donald's speech/threat tomorrow night? I mean, there's so many various things on the menu.
I'm liking the Kabuki Theater.
Okay. We'll go with Kabuki Theater for $500, Alex.
Thank you, Alex. Rest your soul, Alex. Ken.
You guys can check it out. First round in the news on tap today in America in Danger. Under the section Capitol Hill Kabuki, we have live blogs both to the Todd Blanche hearing and to the Jay Clayton hearing today. Oh, my God. Did you, while they were going on, did you watch or listen to any of them, Jody?
No.
You just waited until the clips came out?
Yeah.
I was trying to flip back and forth between them, and I was not surprised, but I was disgusted by the one and disappointed in the other. Blanche didn't surprise me at all. That just disgusted me. Oh my God, he admitted fairly early on, he was talking Foghorn Leghorn, Senator Kennedy from Louisiana.
Softball question, too.
Oh, it was great. Easy. Here it is.
Are you and President Trump friends?
I'm his lawyer. Was his lawyer.
Are you sure you want to hear that again? Maybe you missed it, because this is the guy who's the current acting attorney general. Yeah. Here it is.
Are you and President Trump friends?
I'm his lawyer. Was his lawyer.